I told you there were ancient civilizations that had knowledge and technology so advanced, it doesn't seem possible they could have existed when they did. We're talking about precise astronomy, electricity, even surgical tools, long before modern science should have allowed it. These aren't legends, these are real discoveries that leave archaeologists scratching their heads. Here are ancient civilizations that were so advanced they shouldn't have existed. When archaeologists unearthed massive stone towers near Sardinia, they realized they were standing in the middle of an ancient military system that should not have existed. The Nuragic civilization built over 7,000 megalithic stone structures between 1900 and 730 BCE. These towers often stood several stories high, featured complex spiral staircases, and were part of a network that covered the entire island. Some were even built with a precision that allowed them to withstand earthquakes. We still don't know exactly what they were used for, defense, religious rituals, or both, but the fact that this isolated Mediterranean island had advanced military engineering on this scale without any known outside influence is something historians still can't explain. Thousands of years before the telescope, ancient Sumerians charted the stars with accuracy modern scientists didn't believe was possible. Among their many clay tablets, one stood out, the planisphere, believed to be a Sumerian star chart dating back to 3300 BCE. It depicts constellations and celestial movements with astonishing precision. Some researchers argue it even recorded an asteroid impact event. But how did people over 5,000 years ago know so much about astronomy? These weren't just random drawings. They show a deep understanding of celestial patterns, including the precession of the equinoxes, something science only rediscovered in the last few hundred years. Everyone knows about Egypt's pyramids, but did you know that there are more pyramids in Sudan, and some of them are even older? The ancient kingdom of Kush, located in modern-day Sudan, built over 200 pyramids between 800 BCE and 350 CE, more than double the number found in Egypt. These pyramids, found in an ancient city, show influences from Egyptian design, but with their own unique architecture and burial traditions. The Kushites mastered ironworking, long-distance trade, and even wrote in their own script, which to this day remains undeciphered. The empire was so powerful that at one point the Kushite king even ruled Egypt, yet somehow they've been mostly left out of the history books. At nearly 13,000 feet above sea level sits a stone city so precise it looks like it was cut by laser. Tiahuanaco, near Lake Titicaca, is believed to have been the capital of a powerful pre-Incan empire. What makes it so mysterious is the construction of its buildings. Massive stone blocks with perfectly smooth surfaces and sharp right angles. Some stones weigh over 100 tons and were moved miles over rough terrain. No written language has been found, and mainstream archaeology dates the city to around 400 CE, but some believe it could be far older based on astronomical alignments and erosion patterns. Whoever built it had knowledge of math, astronomy, and stone masonry that rivals even the most advanced cultures. The concept of zero is something we take for granted today, but it was a game-changing invention, and it appeared much earlier than we thought. In 2017, radiocarbon dating revealed that the Bakhshali manuscript, found in a field in India in the 1800s, contained the oldest recorded use of the symbol zero, dating all the way back to the 3rd or 4th century CE. This was centuries before it showed up in Europe or in the Middle East. The manuscript shows that Indian mathematicians were already using advanced concepts in arithmetic, algebra, and even the foundations of calculus. The mathematical sophistication in this early document is so ahead of its time, it literally changed how the world understood numbers. While Europe was still dealing with chamber pots, the Indus Valley civilization had flushing toilets. Seriously. The Harappan civilization, located in present-day Pakistan and northwest India, thrived around 2600 BCE. They built cities like Mohenjo-Daro with grid-like streets, public baths, and private homes that had toilets connected to covered sewage systems. Each house was linked to a centralized drainage grid, a feature not seen again until the Roman Empire, and even then, not as widespread. Their engineering was so advanced, we still don't understand how they maintained it all without modern tools or written manuals. It's like they just figured it out. I don't know. How do you build an entire city on coral reefs using 2,000-ton stones with no cranes, no wheels, and no written language? Madol is a series of artificial islands off the coast of Pohnpei built entirely from basalt columns stacked like giant Lincoln logs. The city has canals like Venice and served as a ceremonial center for the Saudelar dynasty around 1100 CE. The craziest part? Some of these stones weigh more than 20 tons and had to be transported across water. No one knows how they did it. Some local legends say the stones were moved with magic or levitation. Scientists say we still don't really have a better explanation. Maybe it was magic. Okay, at this point, I don't know. You've probably heard of Petra, the city carved into rose-red cliffs, but what made the Nabataeans truly brilliant was what you couldn't see. The Nabataeans lived in one of the most arid regions on Earth, yet they built a thriving city thanks to masterful water engineering. They carved channels and cisterns into the rock, creating a network that could harvest, purify, and store rainwater for dry seasons. Petra was home to tens of thousands, all relying on this hidden infrastructure. Their ability to harness limited water sources with such precision makes them one of the most underrated civilizations in engineering history, and it still confuses hydrologists today. Before the pyramids of Egypt, there was Caral, and somehow they had already mastered the art of complex urban planning. Located in the Soup Valley of Peru, Caral is one of the oldest cities in the Americas, dating back to around 2600 BCE. But it wasn't a primitive settlement. Caral had plazas, pyramids, an amphitheater, and irrigation systems. Even more impressive, no signs of warfare or fortifications have ever been found. They used knotted strings to record data, and there's evidence they were studying astronomy. How did such a peaceful, organized society with advanced agriculture emerge so early in human history? Caral defies what we thought was possible in pre-Columbian South America. It looks like a simple hill until ground-penetrating radar revealed a buried megalithic structure far older than anyone expected. Gunung Padang in West Java is covered in massive stone pillars, but recent studies have suggested that it may be the oldest known pyramid on Earth. Some layers of the site date back to over 20,000 years ago according to carbon dating, completely upending our timeline of human civilization. If that's true, it would mean an advanced culture existed in the Ice Age, long before any known writing systems or cities. Mainstream archaeology is still debating this, but the idea that such a civilization could have existed that early is both exciting and a little terrifying. Alright guys, that is been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.